Good day, people of the internet. Today we're going to be looking at a ballot for Seattle government representation as well as a few measures. Some came in the mail. Um, uh, Now I didn't do any research whatsoever on any of the candidates they had written down. I just was really looking at if they had any affiliation with any party. So this is Democrat, Republican, and X'd it out. I wrote in Ralph Nader. So if you're out there, you don't know who to pick. If you try Ralph Nader, I think everyone else is just going to leave that one blank. And all we need is two Ralph Naders, and we got him as a United States Senator. I believe that. Oh, and then I was also looking at it. I thought this had something to do with the local government at all. I was looking for Shama Sawant. She's someone who I had the opportunity to run into several times. Never got that interview from her, which I would love to do. But yeah, she wasn't on this, but I just wrote her in as a congressional district number 9 option. So yeah, and then after that, I wrote in Ralph Nader again for Secretary of State. You know, I'm a Naderator, I suppose. Then for legislative district, I wrote in Robert Kennedy Jr. That's number 33 legislator, state senator. Then I wrote in Stephen Donziger for looks like the same position. That's representative position number 1, whatever that is. Legislative district number 33, representative position number 2. I wrote Glenn Greenwald. I'm like just thinking of lawyers. He was Snowden's lawyer. And then Stephen Donziger got another recommendation for prosecuting attorney. And Chris Hedges, I wrote him in as justice position number 1. And then Tom Goldtooth, he was marching with the water protectors. He was leading up that. Wrote him in as justice position number 5. So if you still haven't put out your vote, let's vote against the Republicrats. But yeah, and then like all of this other stuff, the measures, I didn't know enough information, and I was like, ooh, I could look into it, but I mean, who would I trust? Like, it would be like a rabbit hole of just like, let me find someone with an opposite point of view. But yeah, so I'm just gonna leave that blank, or if y'all got any tips or tricks, I'd appreciate it. Oh, see, family in the chat didn't even notice. Hey, sup, Nate? Yeah, just figuring out if anybody has any knowledge of any of these measures. Like I just wrote in the candidates of my choice instead of like the ones they provided, but the measures, I was looking for a cheat sheet to just get to who's actually telling the truth about it. But yeah, because it's a tedious process. And I'm like a little dry of mouth. I've been working on some musical projects. I was like remaking a parody video where I had to like alter my voice for the character, and then like as getting back to that, like just doing a bunch of takes in like a gruffier voice. It was it created the need for a bit of quenching. But yeah, that's gonna be some new content over at NatesVlogs.net. The new it's a older rewind, but it was like one of my more popular ones. It had a musical element to it, so it was the song that was in there. I extended it and I made it its own downloadable. Um, excuse me, song you could take down, and it's yours. I've lost faith in our politics. I want to believe again, though. Well, that's why I'm helping to bring back SNCC. You see all the I went as the chairman. Stokely Carmichael went on to become Kwame Ture for Halloween. But yeah, I'm trying to like the people who I voted for. We're trying to get these people to actually talk about a platform that could transform the way we go about doing things, and that requires taking all the power from corporations. You know, World War III is not Russia versus U.S. or China or whatever. It's corporations versus us, right? It's a large money interest getting people to work against their own best interests. And yeah, they'll poison waters to that end, food, but yeah, they'll pay for war. Can't feed the poor. But yeah, I think it's common sense that we change it, and yeah, it's gonna be a big reckoning, and yeah. I'm of the belief, you know, we need to do it all peacefully. I would like to see rich people transitioning to being poor turned into a reality show, because they have to be followed, you know, and they just start getting like overdraft fees, you know, because they stole billions of dollars in subsidies, which is like welfare. It's like, you know. we talk about people in need who can't get enough to feed, but yeah, it's so much greed. Certain people, they just can't get out of their way of just consuming, and it's just like, what could you get with 2 billion? You can't get with one. And so on, 300 billion, a trillion, what are you saving up for? It's just like, you're gonna buy all the Jordans, or you're gonna buy all the governments. Yeah. Hey, cousin, what it do? You're right, but politicians are working against us. I hate to be negative. I just don't think voting does anything when the candidates are all compromised. Well, yeah, that's why it's just like, I think it's going to be everybody just sees Democrat, Republican, and just do what I did. They're just going to write like a different name, like something that just not what's currently offered. And then it's just going to be like everyone's going to just stop voting for the normal people, and it's just going to be two people. We're gonna both vote for Ralph Nader, and then we got Ralph Nader congressman or whatever. That's how I mean, because everybody's waking up to just being bullshitted, and it's to the point where I don't like Trump at all, right? But if I say anything against Biden, it's like pro-Trump. Like, no, I'm anti this shit. I'm anti-republicratic. You know, I don't buy into the false dichotomy. It's like when people say it's like you gotta vote for lesser of two evils. That's like a rapist telling you which condom you want me to rape you with, the red or the blue. I don't know. well, red. Like, oh, you just might think it's like going to save the planet by, getting a less blue color or whatever. I don't know. Uh, but yeah, it's just like when you buy into the false dichotomy, you play a part in it, and they can just be like, wasn't rape. I said, what you want me to do? They said they picked the color. Wasn't rape. Just like, no. I'm just going to write in something else when I don't see my values represented on that ballot. And yeah, there's no way any of the people who I've seen, some people I just didn't look into, but it's like, I'm just Democrat, Republican, all that stuff. So you got all that money, they funded your account. Okay. If they got you to this point, I can't trust you. Sorry. We got like they're the ones who the Democrats are the people who thought the solution of the 1994 crime bill and all the other devastating legislation that's like ruined lower income communities for decades. The solution to that was to bring the dude who wrote all of these atrocious bills and give him the office of presidency. And just expect him to fix the problems that he started. That's asinine. It's like you're not a serious person. We should be prosecuting him and embracing like a new wing, like a new enthusiasm. Like if there was a candidate that got millions of people interested in politics back in 2016, you bring that enthusiasm, that message in instead of like the optics of an old white person. But yeah, it's just nothing but. And the actually good candidates never stand a chance. Well, yeah, I mean that's how it's currently standing. But I think once we have like a candidate who is just totally against corporations, in corporations before they end us, right? Take all that corporate welfare, because that's just that's the biggest thing. It's like the richest people in the world, and they get that money from just stealing from people who pay their taxes, and then once they have all that money, they don't pay their taxes. They pay a lower percentage in taxes than you or me. But yeah, it's a tragic state of affairs. Exactly, and they give banks trillions to fix the mess they created. Yeah, because the Federal Reserve is a corporation, and that's why it's all those movements to end it. And it's like they're gaining traction. That's one of the good things, like everyone's awakening to it, and you gotta love to see the enthusiasm. We already have one public bank in North Dakota, and they're not without their faults, but they didn't have like a 2008 crash like the rest of the country because their bank gives profits back to the state instead of like hoarding it for themselves. It's kind of like an amazing thing to watch. And then their PPP loans got distributed to the local economies more than any other state because they had protections like that. And we just need to bring some common sense stuff federally. Like, okay, look at what this public bank is doing for this one state, but then the media will never cover that. That's why you see all the chase, the bank commercials. It's not like North Dakota's bank wants to just like overtake the rest of the country, get them all sending money. It's just like they don't advertise it because they're just good with what they got, and we need to have something similar. Now, the answer isn't to end corporations. Most of everyone works in corporations. The problem is capitalism and its influence in politics, money, not free speech. Well, when I say corporate in corporations, I'm not saying just like, okay, these people don't have jobs, they're not doing anything. I'm just saying like you just take the aspects that people love about their job. You know, a lot of businesses would be much better if it was like locally owned. You know, um, you think of like a McDonald's, you know, like they bring in billions of dollars a year, and they got like people, you know, struggling to put food together for themselves outside of the stuff they steal from work. So yeah, so it's just like once you have stuff like that locally owned, where it's just like, or you know, all of the corporate welfare that we're sending to these CEOs, giving them like bonuses and shit that they just take from your taxes. All of that just gets like taken back. That's like it's a welfare cutoff. You can't make more than $10 million in welfare, right? And you can't. We're not talking about going up to billions. You're just cut off from rigging the system, right? Um, and then like all of the businesses that you know and love, if they got good chemistry, they like what they're doing, it would just continue as uh, a locally owned business where you know they share the profits. There's no exploitation like that. uh, yeah, and then like no corporation can own property. No corporation can like hoard houses when we have a homelessness epidemic. That's like corporate supremacy. That's the corporation being more than human because they have more money than they could ever spend. It's like it's just like it boggles the mind. The people who destroyed the economy in 2008 never got prosecuted. Um, then they can set the rules for the current state of engagement. Nate, what it do, Mr. Jackie Bear? Or let me just not even assume any pronouns. You're a dude, I'm a dude, he's a dude, she's a dude. Hello, Nate. What it do, Camille? Thank you for showing up. And let's see. I'm trying to see, am I not in the is there a different way to get to the comment section on this? I do not know. But anywho, internet. Just wanted to see. I'm just gonna play it through. Oh, got the phone on there on the device. See if anyone can recognize the song. It's from What It Do, Dark Cloud. But yeah, this is the beginning of a remix to an old employee evaluation song. We're just seeing if anyone can recognize it. First one gets a cookie emoji. Do I have it up? What the heck? Let me just try. No. Wrong one. Sorry, I'm like I was like working on multiple projects today. Okay, Southside Boys. All right. Okay, that's hella loud. What's going on in Seattle? Oh. All right. Well, yeah, we got newcomers, but we got a little off topic. We got the ballot into Seattle, and I was just going over my recommendations on who to vote for. So it's just listed going from top to bottom. Senator, I went with Ralph Nader. Representative, Shama Sawant. Secretary of State, Ralph Nader. Legislative District 33 Senator, Bob Kennedy, Robert Kennedy Jr. Stephen Donziger, Representative position number 1, Legislative District. And Glenn Greenwald for position 2. And Chris Hedges, position number 1. I don't think he's a lawyer, but I think he could handle himself in the court. And Tom Goldtooth for justice position number 5. So, and I didn't research the other stuff because I don't even know where to start. I don't know who to trust on it. So, I was hoping for some assist. But yeah. Appreciate all the people showing up. And honestly, whoever isn't a Democrat or Republican, that's what I said. That's what, because everyone like who I saw who like wrote recognized as Democrat, Republican. I'm like, no, thank you. It was a video of like some of the Democrats scoffing at the idea of defunding the military aid to the Nazi brigade in Ukraine. So it's like, yeah, please sign me up for not giving them any more money. Like, where do we sign up for clean water? Where do we sign up for like a peace dividend? Like better schools, like food without a bunch of shit in it. Why does one person have all the fucking arable land to grow food? How do he get his money? Still in taxes? Still in welfare? How about we confiscate that? But yeah, it's abolish non-disclosure agreements and lock up criminals who like, because the non-disclosure agreements never made sense to me. You know, it's like it's people, the biggest criminals, biggest predators, they're covering up their criminality, so you never hear about it. And it's like, yeah, you know, how much one of those costs? Like a few million. Like, yeah, you don't get that money back. You get investigated just for paying what are you putting in the food that you paying several $1 million to cover up? You know, that's what we need to start doing. You know, turn those NDAs into made-for-TV movies, blockbusters. But yeah, I did need to get a few things done, including this remix that was going to be uploaded on NatesVlogs.net with the original, probably on other social media stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna hop to that and replenish my water bottle and give some back to the earth. So thanks for showing up. Appreciate the company even Yeah. Next time I'll probably say I'm gonna do something exclusively.